Hey everyone, Matt here with Moesif to show you how to use Moesif's live event log. So when you first come into Moesif, most likely you'll be on the dashboards page. If you want to get to the live event log, it's as simple as clicking New and then clicking Live Event Log. Now once you've come to the live event log page, you should see an event stream here that has a bunch of API calls and possibly some web actions as well if you have Moesif Browser.js or if you have something like Segment integrated with us as well. Now, what you'll also see here on the right is if you have user and company tracking enabled, you'll be able to see the user ID as well as the company ID here. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview of some key things that you can do within Live Event Log. Obviously, the most crucial one is going to be actually creating a filter. So we have this list of all of these different events that have happened. What we want to do is actually filter based on, let's say, an endpoint. And you can see all of these possible ways we could filter. So the cool part about Moesif is we can filter on different body fields. And this is all pulled in as the events come in. They actually get parsed and it'll actually build this list out. So you don't have to worry about remembering what the fields are named, any of that type of stuff. That'll automatically get pulled into this filter selector here. Now to keep things simple, what I'm going to do is just come over to URI route and then do is, and then based on all of the events that are here, it'll actually pre-populate this with all the available URI routes. I want the one that is for purchases. So I'm going to click that. And now you'll see that I have purchases here. And this will show all of my gets, my posts. It's going to show everything that's successful, everything that's unsuccessful. If we wanted to filter by maybe a specific response code, we could do response status code. Let's just say is not, let's say 200 or 201. So 200, and we'll do 201. And now everything that remains is likely going to be an error code. So we see some 401s. We got a 204 here. Let's also get rid of those. So we'll do 204, no content. And now we can see all of these error codes that we have here. So that's how you can build a filter. Now, if I wanted to save this specific filter, what I could do is I could click Save here. And I could save it to a team or a private dashboard. You know, if I wanted to do error codes, I could then click either team or private. If I just wanted myself to be able to see this, we'll do team. And then I can select a dashboard where I want to actually embed this. So, you know, it could be customer success. And since I'm on a demo account right now, I'm not going to be able to save it. But normally this here would be a save button that you'd be able to click, and it would save it to the dashboard that you've selected here. Now there's some other features here that I want to go over as well. So you see that we have a stream of events here. We could also look at these in a table as well, depending on how you find it most easy to view these things. And then when you expand these, you can see the request itself. So we can see the headers here. We can also see what's contained in the body if it does have a body. We can see what the response looks like. So we can see the headers for the response. We can see the body of the response as well. You can also see stuff about the user, the company, any query params that were passed, and then URI segments. And if you want to replay this, you could actually do it through Postman or curl, and you can copy and paste this command here and run it, and that's going to allow you to replicate exactly what this command looks like. Now you can do the same thing in Stream as well. If you click on one of these, it's going to pop up the exact same options here as well. Now if you want to export data, you can do that as well. So what you can do is come over to bulk export, and then you select an email where you would like the notification to go to. So Moesif will actually create an export link. It's going to export all of this stuff into either a CSV, JSON, or Parquet. And you can either choose selected columns, so these are the ones that would already be selected over here, or you can do all fields, which is going to bring every single field that is possible for those specific events. Once you've selected all this stuff, you can click Start Export, and what that will do is, I won't do it right now because I don't want to export this data, but what it's going to do is it'll actually send you an email once the export is complete with a link that will then allow you to download that exported file. And depending on the amount of data, this could take, a few seconds to a few minutes to potentially longer if you have a lot of data that you're going to be exporting. The next thing I want to show you is our diff to events. So if you have two events that are similar, let's say like these two 401s here, I can select this, and then you'll see that there's a few more options that come up here. So download events, run in Postman, diff to events, events link. What I want is diff to events. And what it's actually going to show is going to put the two events side by side, and we'll be able to see the differences in the two. This can really help if you are trying to troubleshoot, right? So instead of going through each and trying to look at, physically look at what the two differences are, this will actually show you the difference. It shows you the first selected one, so you can see here that in the red that East US, whereas the one on the right side is West US, so it's going to show everything that's the same, and it'll show you the difference in the two as well in a really easy to read format. So this can be extremely useful as well. Now, if you also want to export this chart, let's say, what you could do is actually embed this as well. So this might work well. Let's say you're creating a company dashboard that's external to Moesif, but you still want to have some Moesif charts in it, maybe just for customer experience. Maybe they're subscribing to your API and you want to show them any errors that are happening, the same way that we've done it here. What you can do is come up here to embed, and then you can, if you want to create a very customized way, you can grab these events via API, but the easier way is to do create template, and then you're able to do an embedded template. So you could say, workspace name could be error codes. And you'll see here that we have embed template, and we can check off which of these we want to be dynamic. So request time, this is going to be static for right now, but if we want something dynamic, we could do, for instance, dynamic user ID, which makes sense because if we have a dashboard in our portal, let's say, for our developers, we'd probably only want to show that user's data. So we can have it so that it only passes in that user's ID, and then it's only going to display that user's data. Now, once that's created, we'd be able to click Save here, and that's going to actually display a nice embeddable iframe so that we can plug it into our HTML code. Another way to do this also is to create a public link. So with the public link, you're not going to have the ability to do any type of dynamic stuff like add in a user ID, but this could work really, really well if you wanted to just display a bunch of data publicly. Be careful though on what you're going to put out, because you want to make sure that obviously you're not exposing anything sensitive here. And one last thing that I want to show you is how to run this within Postman. So if we have some events that we want to be able to run maybe in a Postman collection, we can actually select them, click Run in Postman, and then we can download these three as a Postman collection. If I click this, you'll see that it gets downloaded here in the bottom, which you won't be able to see because I think my head will likely be on top of it. You'd be able to take that and then import it into Postman. And we do have some docs, as you can see right here. If you're able to click here, it'll show you exactly how to load it into Postman so that you can replay these. And that's a very basic overview of some of the core features that are available within Live Event Log. And of course, if you need more, there's also time series charts, segmentation, geo heat maps, and smart diff available in Moesif as well.